Why did the U.S. order China's consulate to close in Houston? What is that all about? And something that's missing from the news cycle that I wanted to make sure you're aware of as you head into your midweek. Hope you're off to a great day so far. We're going to cover a couple of these stories, first by backtracking to what happened last night. Last night, we had one of the first press briefings at the White House related to COVID-19. And just to kind of overview what we've done over the last several weeks, when the COVID-19 task force has briefed, we have always covered that, looking for key quotes and key facts to kind of siphon off for you so you don't have to watch the full hour or two briefing. Yesterday, we heard from the president directly, and this is very different from what we heard could potentially happen. There were some reports that the COVID-19 task force would be back briefing the press as they did in the spring. That didn't happen. The president instead stepped to the podium and actually delivered a lot of the data that normally doctors would do. So what we did as well is to isolate a few of his quotes. We're going to put that on the website so you can see it for yourself exactly what he was talking about and what the White House feels is significant during this time. We're constantly watching the federal reaction or federal response and the federal point of view to this pandemic, because we know that there's layers of coordination that have to take place between cities, states, and the federal officials. On that, interesting to note that as we're looking across at states, it looks like California is on pace to have the most cases in the nation for COVID-19. Previously, it was New York. New York still has the most hospitalizations and deaths, but California, a much bigger state, we're starting to see those cases be the top of the list. And so we're going to be watching what happens out in California. The president talked yesterday a little bit about economic stimulus. This has been a part of bipartisan support, which is rare in Washington, D.C., as you know. Economic stimulus to help blunt the impact of the economic shutdown due to COVID-19 on the American people. The president says he does expect another package. He did make a note about unemployment benefits. Remember, unemployment benefits were boosted to try to help people that were laid off due to the pandemic. He says he doesn't expect to be as generous, that was his word, with those benefits, because there's some concern from him and others that people are going to be deterred from going back to work because they're making more on unemployment than they are back in the office. That's one point of view. Not everyone agrees with that, you should know, but this are some of the things that they're working out behind the scenes, and we're watching to see what that package could look like. In the meantime, one of the things that the president did yesterday, I want to make sure to flag for you. He referred to COVID-19 as a China virus. This has been very controversial. He's done this from the beginning. He, of course, is referring to what's believed to be the origin of the pandemic, which is Wuhan, China. There's a lot of politics over that. The president has done this consistently. He's been criticized consistently for it because there are those that say it's showing great prejudice and ratcheting up tensions unnecessarily between our two countries. And so these are the two sides. I just want you to know that he's doing it again. This is part of, we don't know for sure, but this is how the president is formulating his narrative about the pandemic, and he's continuing to do so. What I think is important to know most about this has nothing to do with politics. It's a realization today that we still do not know the origin of COVID-19. Do you know that? We still don't know exactly where it came from. We believe, and I'm saying we, researchers, reporters, the public believe that originated in Wuhan, China, because that's where the first reports of cases came from. But we actually do not know precisely where it came from. If it was indeed from a animal host that transferred to humans, what exactly that looked like. There is some ideas about what that is, that it was a bat, for example, but we don't know with complete certainty. And it's an important part of the story to reflect on as we mark 6 months into this pandemic. We still don't know what happened at the very beginning. So I'm just watching for that closely. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about Houston. And remember, the president's using this language on the same day that we're getting reports that America has ordered the Chinese consulate in Houston to close by Friday at 4 o'clock. There are some references by the State Department that this is due to theft of intellectual property. We don't know the specifics. We do know America has accused China of stealing intellectual property from the United States and from companies here for years. And so while we don't know the specifics, we know that this is something that's happening. In the meantime, there are reports that a fire was burning, and we actually saw surveillance video of it inside the consulate. It looked like they were burning documents. We don't know what they were burning. That's what it looks like. This is adding to tension between America and China. Remember, one of the big stories we covered over July 4th weekend was that the United States sent the Navy to the South China Sea to really counter what they say is China aggression in the area. So I just want you to be aware of these kind of drops of information about China and the United States. It's not just about a passing reference by the president. It's not just about one order of a consulate to close, which is very unusual. It's not just about one naval exercise. We have to start looking at these stories together, and it's something we're going to be doing as well. We think that's smarter. In the meantime, a lot of you have asked about different stories. Laura, you want us to look into a coin shortage report. Jovan, you want us to look into vaccines for COVID. Jenny, you want us to look into Italy and Italy's recovery. Tiffany, you read my mind. You want more fun history. I think we have something for you tomorrow, hopefully. And Lindsay, you want us to continue to watch what's happening in Portland. We read your comments. We love hearing from you, and we deeply appreciate it. So thank you for your support. Hope you got caught up today. More on the website, as always, throughout the day. And just remember, smarter news, news when it matters and why it matters. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you later.